Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. I am Deadshot from Warframe Mornings. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I am here today with my take on a Nova build, which I think is very interesting because she basically becomes a full-blown tank. Also, I'd like to know what you guys think. Got a new camera angle. YouTube is the first ones to see it. I decided to move my camera from sitting up here in the ring light to on top of my monitor. So we'll see how much more you guys like that angle. The other one that I'm thinking of is below my monitor, but how it goes. So let's jump right into the build here. We are going to be utilizing molecular fission as our augment mod. This is going to basically allow us to have infinite null stars. It reads, enemies hit by null stars are primed when killed. Primed enemies will restore a null star charge and have a 100% chance of restoring 2, which is very wonderful. Synergizes very beautifully with our fourth, as that's what primes the enemies. And basically keeps our null stars up infinitely. This is basically what turns her into a tank, as you get a certain amount of damage reduction per particle, and that scales with ability strength as well as the number of particles. The damage reduction cap stays at 90%, which makes sense, but that still means that we're getting our maximum damage cap at around 8 projectiles, so about half, which is actually pretty nice, as we can regen them. Usually we can regen them faster than they disappear. Getting into the rest of the build, we have corrosive projection in the aura slot, gives them a little bit less armor, makes them a little bit easier to kill. Prime sure-footed, because we don't like being knocked down, because that kind of takes away from our ability to do damage and our ability to prevent damage. Blind rage for more ability strength. We don't care about ability efficiency as much, even though it still kind of hurts every once in a while. Primed flow for that energy pool. Primed redirection for all of that shield capacity, giving us the ability to take more hits. Stretch for more ability range. Transient fortitude for more ability strengths. Equilibrium for that energy and health conversion, helps with that energy production. And then we've got prime continuity as well for duration. Going over the other abilities and the helmet slot, we have Breach Surge taking over her second, as I found her second wasn't as useful, although it is fun. I'm later going to make a build kind of derived around what her second actually is, because her second does have some pretty cool mechanics to it, so I want to kind of utilize those later. But for now, we're rocking Breach Surge. This will make our enemies take more damage, and that synergizes with this as well, as they will take twice as much damage from this and then 5 times more damage from this, so they just kind of turn into squishy marshmallows. And then of course we all know her wormhole gets us around a little bit quicker. That's why I kept that in there, just because I like getting around fast. We may not see too much of that. But in the arcanes, we are rocking arcane barrier on shield damage, 6% chance to instantly restore all, which is pretty useful. This helps with our shield gating and help keeping our shield up and keeping our health from being damaged, as we don't have a very fantastic health pool, as you can see. And then we are rocking Molt Augmented for that 60% ability strength at 250 stacks, 250 kills. Moving on to what I would like to refer to as the energy cannon, which will eventually get its name changed. This is basically an energy producer. We are rocking malignant force and high voltage to give us some beautiful corrosive damage. This allows us to do more damage against selected factions. You can also change this out for radiation damage if you prefer. So where is my... Swap it out for thermite, and you can give you radiation, which will be good against the murmur and sentience. And then from there you can also what's the other one? Gas, right? So we need my toxic one. Where the hell is it? And you can also run gas for infested or demos. or infested or tech rot. Holy crap, I cannot speak English today. But for now, I'm going to swap back to that corrosive. We're also running galvanized aptitude for that increase in status chance and the direct damage up to 80%. Very nice. Helps us deal a lot more damage, of course. Shivering contagion to help spread more cold status effects. That'll help us with photon overcharge. This will give us 90% more crit damage on kill or assist. And slain enemies have a chance to drop an energy orb per cold status affecting them. We can stack cold really quickly with that 120% status chance and the cold dominant status. So this basically means that we can constantly have a 20% chance for energies to drop energy orbs based on those cold stacks. We are running a amalgam serration for our base damage increase and a little bit extra sprint speed. Movement speed is always important in this game, I feel. Sinister reach for a little bit more range. Galvanized chamber for more multi-shot. And prime cryo rounds just to help increase the proc priority of the cold status effect. We're also going to synergize that with primary frostbite. On cold status effect, we get 3% more crit damage and 2.25%, sorry, more multi-shot for 12 seconds, up to 40 times, which makes for a very nice multi-shot increase and a very nice crit damage increase, because we do crit fairly often with the Glaxon, even with that 20%. Going to the secondary, we are rocking the dual Coda Toxicas. Running that with an electric build and a radiation valence. I don't exactly know what I want to change the valence to. I haven't found a reason to change it yet, as radiation seems to be pretty decent on this weapon. We are running prime convulsion for a little bit more for that elemental damage, and to synergize with conjunction voltage, which we'll get into. We're running hornet strike as our base damage multiplier. Lethal torrent for more fire rate and more multi-shot. Creeping bullseye for more crit chance, as we want to get all of that crit chance, so we're losing fire rate. Pistol elementalist for more status damage and reload speed. Magnetic might for the magnetic damage increase and the critical damage. And merciless gunfight for more crit damage and a little bit of punch through, which is nice. Hit a couple more enemies. Then galvanized diffusion for that stacking multi-shot. And then getting into conjunction voltage on electric status effect, we will get 1.5% more reload speed and 3% more multi-shot for 12 seconds, stacks up to 40. So this gives us a pretty decent increase in multi-shot and reload speed. We are running the Praetos as our melee weapon in this build, strictly for the increase in parkour velocity and sprint speed and slide duration, or slide friction. Her companion, we are going to be running Nautilus Prime for our shield gating, basically. For him, we are running some primed regen. Sentinel recovery time reduced by 35 seconds and 10 seconds of invulnerability on revive. Very nice. Decrease that recovery time, keep him up as much as possible. Guardian to help increase that shield gating, prevents us from, or gives us at least a couple second chances, if you will. Tenacious Bond for decreasing that recovery timer and that critical damage with that over 50% crit chance, which we are running the Volk Lock. We'll get into that in a minute. We are also running Repair Kit just to give him a little bit of health regen, although I feel like I could possibly make better use of this mod slot. I don't entirely know. We are also running Coolant Leak for that ability to increase the cold procs on our enemies, which is a very nice increase. It helps with the Glaxon and proccing the cold for the energy drops. Running Vacuum for that increase in pickup range, Synth Fiber and Synth Deconstruct for the increase in health orb drops, and the ability to pick up those health orbs regardless of our health level. Primed Animal Instinct for more loot radar and enemy radar, and then Primed Shield Charger to increase our shield every 10 seconds. Bulk Lock, pretty straightforward. I'm not doing anything fancy with it. We're running Infected Clip to give it corrosive. and critical delay to give it more crit chance, pushing it to that 105%. I think without it, yeah, that's 35%. So you need to run it. But that'll give us that 1.2 final critical damage multiplier. And then I'm running a Riven because I have a Riven. You don't have to. There's no need to necessarily run a Riven. It does not matter that much. And I forgot to get into Nova's passives. I thought this was kind of interesting that they have a 15% chance to drop health orbs or energy orbs depending on if they're sped up or slowed down. We're going to be slowing them down a lot more, so we're going to be getting more of the health orbs and we're going to be getting of the energy orbs. That's just good to note. And then the passive on the Torxica's procs cold status effects on enemies, which is also going to help contribute to our Glaxon and Photon overcharge. Should we swap to it, which we will be every once, or which we will be quite frequently. All right, that's the build. Now we're going to get into some Archon shards. We are running 2 yellows for that increase in casting speed, giving us up to 50% with the non-Tau Forge. If I had Tau Forge, it would give us up to 75% more casting speed. The more ideal option, if you ask me. We're also running 1 blue for that increase in shield capacity, 1 Tau Forge blue for that increase in shield capacity. And then 2 Tau Forge reds, 1 for ability strength, and 1 for ability duration. Also because, you know, 269 ability strength. Nice. And then that increase in duration will also stack more null stars. I could grant you something nice. I had forgotten that null stars stack with duration, which is pretty nutty. That's what gives us a 17. So to display this build, we are going to choose Circulus as our node of choice, as this is the highest level node on the map. We are rocking Steel Path with those Steel Path multipliers, just to make sure that we are taking and not dealing as much damage as possible, apparently.
Accept your death, and you may yet avoid it. Trust
Cast null stars. Make these guys forget looking at me. From them Breach Surge. Alright, now I can hack in peace.
The Orokin Neural Sentry is attempting to purge you from this place. Stand by for life support.
And basically what we're going to do with Madarai skill tree, we're going to Void Sling twice, cast it again, because I forgot to do that the first time. That gives us a total of 319% ability strength. You know what? No, I already had it. Okay. That feels kind of cheap, but I mean, it's fun.
My dear sister were here. It would have warmed her heart to consume a child in this sacred place.
And you can see lots of energy ore being produced from the Glaxon. Prime them up a little bit more. Hit them with that Breach Surge. Void Sling. Cast. And they basically just get to stand there while I shoot at them. They are slowed down up to 75%, so they can't really do a whole lot. Taking 10 times more damage than what they should be. And that's without even proccing viral. Proccing viral, of course, will give you obviously that increase in damage as well to the health, which will then make things that much more easier to kill. This build doesn't necessarily need it, which is a surprise to say for any build that exists out there, but you could definitely mod the Volklock or whatever companion weapon of your choice is to do viral damage if it doesn't have innate viral. And then it'll just spread that on its own, and of course that's always going to be useful as it is. And you can see as we get killed, like the null stars just don't go away because we're getting 2 per kill. I hate leech eximus. They are so damn annoying. Oh, there's a lot of you here. Let's just make them all go away. I mean, not only can they just like not deal damage to you, they also just kind of can't hit you because they're being slowed down and stunned by breach surge. And that breach surge stun takes 75% longer for them to complete. So we just jump in and just melt them while they're helpless, basically. And they literally can't do anything except for the Exomite. Of course, he's got to show up. Whoever this is, it just better not be violence. Okay, storm it. You gonna go bye-bye? Yeah, you are gonna go bye-bye. Good night. Couldn't do anything. He literally couldn't do anything.
Oculists, if they scan you, sentient
Having a
fighters
mild
walking far
energy issue.
behind.
I'm not a fan of that. But that's okay. We'll have that fixed hopefully shortly here. Sometimes they'll cast
If you
whatever
have an
ability is
extra
cheaper.
knife, this would be an excellent place to deploy it.
It all just depends, right? We'll show off the little, we'll show off the dual Toxicos a little bit here.
Deeper I can search. But if you need to leave,
That's that.
extraction
Hit that.
is ready. Hiding Lua in the void risked the unfathomable. I fear we are seeing the consequences of that.
Hit him with a little bit of this, hit him with a little bit of that.
Destroy these void-stained enemies.
Take those guys out. Beautiful. Alright, and what do you say we get out of here? Yep.
And so we learn the importance of
We
clarity.
just started running out of life support, which is beautiful. But yeah, that's Nova. She can do a lot of things. She hits really hard, priming enemies in more than one way. They're taking tons of extra damage from my abilities. Getting primed from the null stars and from your fourth, meaning that you don't have to cast your fourth as often, saves you on a little bit of energy there. It's honestly an all-around wonderful build. I highly recommend you guys give it a shot. That being said, thank you all for watching. I do hope you enjoyed and learned a little something from this video. Please don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed. Leave a like and a comment to give me that feedback, help that algorithm out a little bit. And I will see you guys probably making another build video for next day. Yeah, next Wednesday. So we're gonna do the build showcase on Tuesday morning, and that will be my viral frost build, which is Gonna be a lot of fun. That build I really do enjoy using, so I'm gonna love to show that one off. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Later.